Well, I know you know a beautiful countryside from somewhere, but I dare you it is not as beautiful as this one. So for starters, this is the exact point where Kiambu County meets the Aberdares. And to be specific, this is the southern part of the Aberdares. Remember, this is a 160 kilometers long mountain range. It covers 5 counties, that is Nyandarua, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kiambu, and Laikipia. Oops, I felt like those two vehicles passed right under my nose. There are also beautiful tea plantations next to the forest. And you can see the combination of nature and human input is something else, especially at the point where the two meet. Anyways, let's keep moving forward. I want to explore this village further. It is going by the name Gakoe. I honestly don't know the meaning of the word, but I'm sure there's an old timer here who won't mind helping us. I will also be showing you some cute tiny village towns in the area. So you better stay tuned and watch until the end, and make sure you subscribe. It feels like I'm driving down the old country road. Just see this. There is also a public toilet in the middle of nowhere. I'm not quite sure who needs that service here. But remember, this is a very busy road. It connects Kiambu County and Nyandarua County. So if I continue this way, I'll be hitting the forest in about 5 minutes. So the road does not stop there. It goes across the jungle for about 30 kilometers or so. Well, I must admit it's a very scenic road for nature lovers. You can imagine driving through the forest watching birds, indigenous trees and so. But a point of caution, it is not unlikely to meet an elephant. And so if you're planning to use the road someday, you have to observe your speed, your time frame. You don't need to come driving here at night. And of course, you should have some company. You can imagine a situation where your mode of transport breaks down and you are alone in the middle of the jungle. Well, back in the days, the forest was quite popular with magas. I don't know whether that changed. So security-wise, I'm not so sure. But there's a checkpoint as you enter the forest, and as you exit on the other side, you have to go through the police. So after the forest, the road hits the Nairobi-Nakuru highway at a point called Flyover, just past Sokomjinga. Well, it seems like we have a tea buying center down here, and the place is quite cold. Can you imagine? It's about 3 p.m. but it seems like it's about to get dark. But one thing I'm quite sure is that it rains almost every day. But that is expected in the slopes of the Aberdares. Just take a look. Is that a factory or what? I think this is the most beautiful natural scene I've ever seen. And the blend of the tea plantations and the forest, that must be something else. But despite the beauty, the population is quite low. I'll be giving you the numbers in a few, as usual. If you are lucky enough, you can meet 2 or 3 people just randomly. But despite the beauty, there's one thing that is just a turn-off, and that is a bad road. Well, I know you can argue that the road is tarmacked, but it is not in a very good shape. Some sections are very nasty. In fact, the road has been under repair since 2019. Can you imagine? 6 years down the line. I'm really enjoying myself. The view is quite scenic. There is also someone's mansion here. And it seems like the guy decided to live all alone. Maybe for the sake of the peace of mind. Who knows? No fence, no gate, nothing. Will you consider living there? Just tell me on the comment section below. I know most introverted people will feel right at home here. I know some of you will just need a phone and a dog and you're good to go. But for Mr. Lone Traveler, just add the internet and a good, beautiful wife on the list, and I'll live here forever and ever after. Amen. Well, I'm leaving the T-zone. It has been real. I think tea makes the most beautiful plantations in the world. Anyways, I had a good time, and let's meet in our first town in a few seconds. We are approaching the small town of Gakoe. It is some few meters from here. It is about 4 p.m. and you can see the small kings and queens are going home. It is on a Monday towards the end of July 2025. Probably you are watching this video in August. And you can see some are running home, probably the most disciplined. The road is not so nice, but we're not complaining. It is not so bad either. And I'm sure you're now starting to see the signs of a small town ahead. And don't forget, this is Gatundu North constituency, which is one of the 12 constituencies in Kiambu County. With a total population of 109,000 people, the constituency is listed as one of the most rural in the county. Remember, this is the county that has most urban centers in the country. That is, apart from Nairobi and Mombasa, of course. The constituency is also the least populated in the county. Remember, this is a county with more than 2 million people. And you can imagine a constituency with only 100,000 people in that county. It must be the least populated, of course. Well, the town is here. And as you can see, it is a pretty busy one. I never expected this. And as I told you earlier, it is going by the name Gakoy Shopping Center. There's a lot of trucks in town. I don't know what the business. And with this kind of population and being on a Monday, it comes as a surprise to me. It seems like the town is doing quite well in business. I think I missed the entrance to the town center. I'm going to turn on my left. I want to take you around the beautiful town. And I'm sure you can see there's a construction site surrounded by these iron sheets. That is the proposed modern market. It is exactly on my right. There is also this beautiful village couple right in front. For now, we can call them Romeo and Juliet of Gakoe. They are having a good time in town. They are yet to realize I'm right on their heels. I don't want to scare them though, but it is quite unfortunate. They had to remind me I came all alone in the beautiful cold town. Very cold indeed. Nothing much is happening here though. There's the town hotel here. I'm sure you can see the proposed market on my right. It is coming up well. It is a story building proposed by the government. I can also see the town's Mutura base is up and running on my left, although there's no one eating. You know, if you go to most urban centers across the country, you will find a lot of people surrounding such places. But that is not the case here. Probably a Mali. Maybe this side of the town will start getting busy 2 hours or so from now. I just spotted another lonely Mutina. It is the most resilient dog species in the world. They always scavenge around the shopping center and they survive on their own. And funny enough, you'll never find them in twos. They always come solo, like Mr. Lone Traveler. I've also noted that firewood and logging is another big business in this small town. You can also see the empty market stalls on my left. Probably it is not the market day, or businesses are not doing quite well. Well, the small town has a total population of 3,747 people, with a total of 1,097 households. Well, that means that each family has an average of 3 people. Well, that's quite low. In terms of the population density, there are 614 people living in a square kilometer. In terms of the gender distribution, women take a majority with 52.8% of the aggregate population, followed by their male counterpart at 47.2% of the total population. Well, that gender gap is quite huge. You can imagine there's a difference of 5.6% in favor of women. Well, apart from tea plantations, another cash crop here in this small town are pineapples. They grow here in large scale, so farmers here have a choice. If you don't want to grow tea, then you plant pineapples. It is a pretty productive area, trust me. Dairy farming is also doing quite well here, and also the farming of the indigenous food products such as arrowroots, cassava, sweet potatoes, bananas. They all do very well here. I want to quickly check at the real estate segment. We see the land prices for my budding investors. Well, I saw an eighth of an acre which was on sale around the small town. That is a 50 by 100. It was costing 1.3 million Kenya shillings. That was about 1,000 US dollars. I also saw another one. This was half an acre. And this one was going for 5 million Kenya shillings. And I'm sure from the two samples, you can guess the land prices in the area. Like for instance, you can see that an acre is going for 10 million Kenya shillings. It is also good to consider that the land prices is affected by multiple factors, such as the size, the area, the location, whether it is touching the tarmac or the river. Is it a commercial or a residential plot? Is it developed? Does it have a house or a tea plantation? All that are factors that might affect the price. Well, let me leave it at that. And please continue watching the scenic video until the end. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. Also like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible. And smash the notification bell so that every time you post, you'll be among the first few people to be notified. Special shout out to Team Village to Town TV. We are growing in crazy numbers. And I appreciate all those who have been with me from day one. Also, don't forget to check our sister channel, that is Gakoe Traveling Media. Thank you. This trip is proudly sponsored by a getaway hidden gem, the Tamaris Hotel. It is nestled on the shores of central Kenya's only freshwater lake, Lake Olobolosat, and overlooking the majestic Aberdare Ranges. So looking for a solo getaway or planning a group event, they've got you covered. With spacious grounds, a goat roasting zone, and custom setups for family, corporate, and team building retreats. This peaceful getaway offers a farm-to-fork dining experience, from organic veggies, fresh dairy, free-range poultry, and even sheep and goats, all raised right here on the property. Let the kid play, enjoy some games, or take a peaceful stroll by the lake. It is the perfect blend of nature, comfort, and adventure. Come discover this hidden gem, the Tamaris Hotel, where fresh food, stunning views, and unforgettable memories await.